Mike and Elena sat in their favorite coffee shop, the warm sunlight spilling over the table between them. Elena stirred her latte slowly and looked at Mike with a thoughtful expression. I practice English every day, she said quietly, but when I try to speak, my words sound flat and slow. Mike nodded. I know that feeling, he replied gently. We learn grammar and vocabulary, but our speech still lacks life. Today, I want to show you a method that can change that. It's called shadowing. Mike leaned forward and spoke in a clear, steady voice. Shadowing means you listen to someone speaking English and you repeat it immediately, almost at the same time. You try to match the speed, the rhythm, and the tone of the speaker. It's like your mouth becomes a mirror of the sound you hear. Elena listened carefully. So I copy exactly what I hear? She asked. Mike smiled. Yes, but don't worry if you miss a word. The goal is to train your ear and your voice together. He reached for his phone and played a short clip of a speaker saying a simple sentence. I really enjoy learning new things. Elena heard the melody of the voice, the way it rose on enjoy, and fell at the end. Then Mike played the clip again and asked Elena to repeat the sentence right after the speaker. Elena echoed, I really enjoy learning new things. Her voice trembled at first, but she tried to match the pitch and rhythm. That was good, Mike encouraged. You felt the melody. Mike explained how shadowing works in our brains. When you listen and speak at the same time, your brain and mouth learn together, he said. Your brain maps the sounds you hear to the movements your mouth makes. This builds muscle memory in your vocal muscles. Over time, repeating short phrases will help you speak more naturally and confidently. Elena closed her eyes and imagined her brain lighting up with each echo. She felt a spark of hope. Next, Mike suggested they practice in front of a mirror. Stand up, face the mirror, and listen to the clip again, he said. Elena stood and watched her reflection as she repeated, I really enjoy learning new things. She paid attention to how her eyebrows and shoulders moved. Mike guided her. If the speaker smiled at a word, try to smile too. If they raise their voice, lift your pitch. This connects your voice with your body language. Elena tried again, lifting her voice on enjoy and nodding gently. She felt more alive. Mike then showed Elena how to set up a simple shadowing space at home. Find a quiet corner where you will not be disturbed, he said. Use good headphones to catch every detail. Keep a printed transcript of your audio in front of you. Highlight the lines you will shadow. This way you know exactly where to start each practice session. Elena pictured a small desk with her tablet, a highlighter, and a notebook next to her chair. That will help me stay organized, she agreed. Finally, Mike stressed the importance of choosing clips that move you. Pick short audio that connects to your feelings, he advised. If you choose something that makes you feel happy, curious, or calm, you will be more engaged. Emotion helps your brain remember the sounds and the meaning. Elena thought of a speech she loved about kindness. She decided that would be her first shadowing clip at home. By the time their coffees were gone, Elena and Mike had a clear plan. They would start each day with a 3-minute shadowing session in the mirror using headphones and highlighted transcripts. They would pick clips that touched their hearts so practice would feel joyful. With each echo and each small victory, they would move closer to speaking English with fluidity and confidence. In that cozy coffee shop, they discovered the power of shadowing and the promise of letting their true voices shine. Mike and Elena met the next morning in the quiet corner of their favorite cafe, ready to build on their shadowing practice. Mike began by explaining that structured drills help turn shadowing from a simple repeat exercise into a powerful training routine. He said, "First, we start with the phrase echo. We choose a short phrase of 4 to 6 words, play it, and immediately echo it 3 times. We pay attention to rhythm and tone each time." Elena nodded and took out her phone. Mike tapped to play a clip. "Let's finish this project." Elena echoed clearly, focusing on the rise in finish and the fall in project. They repeated the phrase 3 times, each time matching the speed and energy of the speaker. After the phrase echo, Mike introduced block shadowing. He explained, "We take a longer block of speech, about 10 to 15 seconds. We listen without speaking first to understand the flow. Then we shadow the entire block at full speed, even if we miss some words." And Elena watched Mike demonstrate with a friendly news report clip. As the audio played, they both spoke along, letting their voices follow the speaker. When the block ended, they felt their breathing and their hearts racing slightly. This drill taught them to keep up with natural English speed and to trust their instincts. Next came a slowed audio drill. Mike lowered the clip to half speed and asked Elena to shadow again. With the audio slower, they focused on each word's pronunciation, on the tiny differences between similar sounds. Elena noticed how the speaker shaped her vowels. When they returned to normal speed, their voices felt smoother and more confident. Mike said, "Slowing down reveals hidden patterns. Then, speeding up shows you how those patterns connect." Elena smiled, impressed by how much her clarity had improved. To add variety, Mike suggested chunking. He took a complex sentence. "After our team completes the report, we will present the results to management tomorrow morning," and broke it into 3 chunks. "After our team completes the report, we will present the results and to management tomorrow morning." They shadowed each chunk separately, then combined them. Chunking made the long sentence manageable and helped them keep the correct stress on key words: team, present, and management. Recording and playback became their final structured drill. Mike asked Elena to read a short paragraph from a familiar text while recording herself. Then they listened back together. Elena heard her voice stumble on completes and management, and she heard her tone stay flat. Mike pointed out where she could add a small rise or a softer pause. Elena re-recorded the paragraph, this time placing her stress and pitch more naturally. Listening to herself twice in one sitting created rapid improvements. With the core drills mastered, Mike introduced creative variations to keep practice fresh. They tried partner cross shadowing. Mike recorded a short dialogue, and Elena shadowed his lines. Then, Elena recorded a monologue, and Mike shadowed hers. This twist made them pay attention to each other's speaking style and built trust between them. They laughed when they copied each other's accents and quirks, and each echo felt more personal than a random clip. Next, they experimented with emotion shadowing. Mike played an excited movie trailer line. "It's going to be the adventure of a lifetime." Elena shadowed with excitement, letting her voice rise even higher on adventure. Then they tried the same line with sadness, imagining a lost chance. Elena's pitch fell and her rhythm slowed. This exercise linked words to feelings and helped them use emotion as a guide to natural speech patterns. Finally, Mike suggested a rhythm game using a simple drum app on their phones. They tapped out stressed and unstressed beats. Strong, soft, soft, strong, or soft, strong, soft, soft, and spoke a sentence to match the pattern. Elena found that matching her voice to a beat made her speech feel musical. She said, "This feels like dancing with language." Mike agreed. Rhythm games turned drills into play. By the end of their session, Mike and Elena had a toolbox of structured drills. Phrase echo, block shadowing, slowed audio, chunking, and recording, and creative variations, cross shadowing, emotion shadowing, and rhythm games. They packed up their phones and notebooks, energized by the variety of exercises. Elena smiled at Mike. "I can't wait to try these drills at home," she said. Mike nodded. With regular practice, these activities will become habits, and your English will flow more naturally every day. In that bright cafe corner, they felt ready to transform their speech with structured drills and creative fun. Mike and Elena knew that to truly benefit from shadowing, they needed to weave it into their everyday routines. One Monday morning, Mike set his alarm 15 minutes earlier. As he brewed his coffee, he opened his phone and played a short news clip. While the coffee dripped, he shadowed each sentence softly under his breath. "Good morning. Here are today's headlines." He repeated the line 3 times, matching the speaker's pace. By the time the coffee was ready, he had already practiced his English without taking extra time from his day. This simple habit of shadowing during morning coffee became Mike's daily sound check, a small ritual that prepared him for work and reminded him to pay attention to rhythm before his first meeting. Elena found her own way to stack shadowing into her routine. Each evening, as she cooked dinner, she selected a favorite cooking podcast. With her ingredients laid out, she shadowed the host's instructions. Chop the onions finely, saute until golden brown, stir in the herbs. As she chopped and stirred, her voice moved in time with the presenters. The cooking motions and the shadowed sentences linked her body and her speech. Over time, Elena noticed that her English felt more natural and her pronunciation improved without extra study hours. Cooking became not only a nourishing activity, but also a chance to live in English. They also created a shadowing circle with 2 friends, Sarah and David. Every Wednesday evening, the 4 of them met online for 10 minutes of live shadowing. One person chose a short clip, a friendly TED Talk, a song chorus, a news snippet, and played it while everyone else shadowed in real time. Then they took turns giving each other gentle feedback. Sarah praised Mike's clear vowel sounds. David encouraged Elena's rising intonation at the end of questions. These sessions became a highlight of their week, combining social connection with practice. The group celebrated small successes, like when someone mastered a tricky phrase or managed a fast sentence without pausing. These shared moments made shadowing fun and helped each learner feel supported. To keep themselves accountable, Mike and Elena maintained a simple shadowing log. They used a small notebook divided into days of the week. Each day, they wrote one sentence describing their shadowing practice. Monday, practiced morning news clip. Tuesday, shadowed cooking podcast, and so on. They also noted one small win. I matched the host's speed today, or I felt confident pronouncing herbs. On Fridays, they reviewed the week's entries together over tea. They found that seeing their progress on paper motivated them to continue. Even on busy days, writing a quick log entry reminded them not to skip shadowing entirely. They devised one more activity to make shadowing part of their life: silent commute shadowing. During their subway ride to work, they played a short dialogue on headphones. When the audio paused, they whispered the next sentence in sync with the imagined speaker's lips. Fellow passengers rarely noticed, but Mike and Elena felt the energy of practicing in public. This exercise built their courage to speak and helped them tune their ears to English sounds in any environment. On days when the train was delayed, they used the extra time to repeat a favorite phrase until they felt its melody in their voices. Weekends offered another chance to embed shadowing. On Saturday mornings, they walked in the park with a playlist of short, inspirational speeches. Each time they passed a familiar tree, they paused, shadowed one sentence, and then moved on. By linking shadowing to landmarks, Stonebridge, Old Oak, Garden Bench, they created physical cues that triggered their practice. This turned a simple walk into a language journey, filled with small stops for English echoes. Finally, they celebrated every month with a shadowing showcase. They recorded a 1-minute monologue on any topic: favorite book, recent movie, weekend plan, using the best rhythm and intonation they had practiced. They posted the video in their private group chat and cheered for each other's improvements. Watching their own progress over time, they saw how far they had come: smoother speech, richer emotion, more confident tone. Each showcase reminded them that shadowing was not a one-time drill, but a lifelong tool for growth. By embedding shadowing into coffee rituals, cooking sessions, social circles, commutes, walks, and showcases, Mike and Elena turned practice into a natural part of daily life. They discovered that small, consistent moments of echoing English built lasting fluency more than occasional study marathons. Shadowing became their companion, ever present in mornings, evenings, movements, and celebrations, helping them speak with clarity, energy, and joy every day. Over the weeks, Mike and Elena transformed their English learning from a forced exercise into a natural part of their lives. They began by discovering shadowing in a quiet coffee moment, matching their voices to a news clip as they sipped their morning brew. Then they brought shadowing to the kitchen, echoing cooking podcasts while stirring soup. They formed a small shadowing circle with friends, cheering each other on and sharing gentle feedback. Their simple shadowing log kept track of every practice, and their silent commute routines turned travel time into speaking drills. Weekend walks became shadow stops at park landmarks, and their monthly shadowing showcases let them celebrate each step forward. Through these daily habits, they saw real change. Mike's pronunciation grew clearer and more confident, and Elena's rhythm felt as natural as her own heartbeat. They no longer thought of English practice as extra work. It was woven into coffee, cooking, conversation, and community. Each short session, no matter how brief, added up to greater fluency, richer expression, and a deeper love for speaking. The deepest lesson from Mike and Elena's journey is this: small, consistent actions create true progress. You do not need long study sessions to improve. Instead, find tiny moments, your morning tea, a bus ride, or a short break, and use them to shadow a sentence or two. Pair that habit with something you already enjoy, like making breakfast or going for a walk. Keep a simple log or use a familiar landmark to remind you to practice. Share your efforts with a friend or an online group for encouragement and gentle feedback. Over time, these small echoes will add up, and your English will become more fluent, more confident, and more alive. Congratulations on listening all the way through Mike and Elena's story. You have taken a big step toward improving your English listening and speaking. Now, let's have a quick quiz to see what you remember. Which simple ritual helped Mike start his day with shadowing practice? A. Shadowing during his morning coffee. B. Shadowing at the gym. Comment A or B below to join the discussion. If you enjoyed this lesson and found it helpful, please subscribe to our channel. Your support gives us the motivation to keep creating free, high-quality English content. If you can, please consider making a small donation to help cover our production costs. In this early days, every contribution makes a big difference and allows us to continue offering these lessons for free. Thank you for learning with us.